from America's finest city. This is Real Talk San Diego on ESPN 1700.
What's happening, gang? You are back live for a second hour of The Secret Stash. Real Talk Radio San Diego, tracking down some cool local people, talking about some cool local stuff. Who knows, Jen? Maybe catching a story or two in the process?
Absolutely. Good morning, San Diego. Jennifer Root here.
Jennifer Root?
Jennifer
Woot?
Root.
Yeah, there you go.
Woot, woot.
Love that. Del Mar Lifestyle. And I'm your co-host for the day, Jesse Ibanez, co-founder of the Greenhouse Group, helping folks get into and out of homes. And that's our deal right down here in the heart of San Diego. You can learn more about us going to thegreenhousegroupinc.com and more about Jen going to Del Mar Lifestyle
Pubs.com.
Don't forget the pubs.
Don't forget the pubs.
I never forget the pubs. But who do we got in the studio today?
We have the fabulous Anna Danes here in the studio with us. Woo!
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Jazz singer, philanthropist, entrepreneur, and just a beautiful, vibrant woman. Welcome, Anna.
I like that.
Thank you for having me.
You are vibrating right now.
Apparently. I'm glowing.
So, Anna, tell us a little bit about you and tell us about your journey as a musician and a singer. Tell us about you, Anna.
The journey's been a long one. Actually, this all started not too long ago. I am a musician now full time. In my past life, I was an attorney, so I am fully recovered.
A recovering attorney.
Get a point for that right out of the gate.
Also was a business owner, and now I am once again. I have my own events company called Anna Danes Presents, and we put on shows all over.
Yeah.
Private, corporate, charity, that sort of thing. I also put on a really fun showcase in North County, San Diego called Jazz on Cedros. We've been doing that for almost a year. We bring in
What
fabulous
a cool venue that is,
San Diego
too, right?
talent together. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's
I can't wait to
beautiful.
learn more about that a little bit later in the show. But Jen, there's something timely and topical, you might say, about Anna going on right now, is there not?
Indeed. Absolutely. Well, Anna has just recorded at Capitol Records, which
Thank you very much.
all very excited for her new album to come out. So tell us about that. What was it like being up at Capitol Records?
I don't think I said much for the 2 days we were there. I was just kind of starstruck, going, wow, I'm really here, pretty much. And using the old microphones that Frank used to use. It was just magical.
Wow.
I'm still stuck on that memory.
That's amazing. So now this album, when is it coming out? When can we expect to see this be presented?
The album will be out in the new year. It takes a long time to produce an album and finish the marketing and the publicity work. So we're working on that right now. It's already mastered, ready to go, and it's going to go on vinyl, which is really cool too.
Hey, yo.
That's really exciting. So bringing it back old school a little bit, putting it on vinyl and making it sexy.
Very sexy, and we're kind of taking a lead from Capitol Records and what they have in their building. If you walk into those historical hallways, you'll see pictures of Frank and everybody else at work at Capitol, and that's our inspiration. That's going to be the artwork for the album as well, just taking something from the live recordings.
Yeah, I love that thought. What's great about that idea also is that the contextual nature of jazz, right? And the ability to have that translate into the analog is so critical.
Yes.
The crackle is almost as important as the instrument.
Yes,
in
absolutely.
my humble opinion.
I agree, and I even told my producer while we were there, please leave all the little noises in as much as you can, because it makes it real authentic, makes it feel immediate, like you're there with the musicians. And so what we did is we did some of that, and we raised the quality of the whole recording to a very high level. So it is definitely an audiophile album.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love that
so
thought.
wonderful.
So when is that album coming out again?
It's going to be out in the early spring, I would say.
So then what happens? Like, are they going to fling you around the country on like a promo tour?
We'll see. Yeah, I think that's part of the deal, promo tour and some shows here and there.
Yeah.
Starting with San Diego and Los Angeles, and we'll see.
And it's a critical part of the process now, right? With the ubiquity of how music is traded. I mean, this is really the last lifeline for Capitol Records, for example, right? To get you out and actually the tactical element of getting you up on stage and moving you through space to space. It's almost like it did a full circle, right? Mm-hmm. The cat got fat and then it came back around.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is very much about live recording, live performances right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of your bread and butter, and that's where you get your fans. There is too much out there on internet available for listening, and I think people are lost by the amount of music available.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. So having that live musician and being in front of an audience, it really elicits emotion from the audience. You have that connectivity rather than, that kind of attachment if something is just being put forth in technology or,
right.
And
that's always been the case with jazz. Jazz is about improvising and making mistakes and just being yourself. When my musicians come to my shows, sometimes I'll tell them what to wear and they'll still wear what they want. And I love that. I've grown to really embrace that because then everybody's best comes through, their individuality. Jazz is all-encompassing and very inclusive.
Genuine.
It is,
the word that flies up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and speaking of that, too, and by the way, if you want to learn more about Anna and everything she's got going on, her site, annadanes.com, is sort of a catch-all right now for all what you got going on and what you're doing. And what the other piece of that is, you had mentioned that you've got the events side of the business as well. So give us a little piece on that. I know we'll get deeper a little bit later in the show, but what's that look like?
The event side is basically I can put on a show for anyone, anywhere, bringing some incredible talent to the venue, and it's tailored to your specifications, whether it's a small party or a themed party like a Christmas event. I just tailor everything to my clients' needs, and we put on a fabulous show. I make sure everything's taken care of, and we don't leave any details out.
Jen, have you ever been to any of those shows?
Oh, yeah. I went to the Jazz on Cedros show a few months back, and it was wonderful. Anna just really knows how to excite a crowd and to romance a crowd, and watching her perform is a beautiful thing.
It's that vibration.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that vibration. She's a vibrant woman. And we also had the honor of having her perform at the launch party for Del Mar Lifestyle. And the feedback from our guests was wonderful, and they appreciated having you come out and enjoying the music. And I know you have a couple fans that came to that event and will be there tonight. Anna's singing one song at Hotel Indigo tonight in Del Mar.
Oh, there
if you'd
you go.
like to come too.
Talking about cool venues, that's a great little spot.
Yes. And it's fun to sit in. And I love sitting in when other musicians are playing. And that really is the idea behind Jazz on Cedros, is I invite guests and they become the show, which is wonderful. So I share the spotlight.
I love that. That's excellent.
Yeah, I remember the last jazz show that I went to. I almost feel like it's kind of planted sometimes because it always sort of happens very organically, wink, wink, where like you'll be sitting there and then all of a sudden the dude's like, hey, is that John Ramos over there? And then John comes up from his table, finishes his drink, and next thing you know, he's like plugging on the cello, and then it's a riff. Like, I love that about jazz.
It reminds me of that scene from Anchorman where he hops up and he plays the jazz flute. Like,
right.
Oh, this old thing?
Yeah,
I'm out of practice. And then he just starts wailing away on the jazz flute.
It's kind of like reality TV.
Point Jen for an Anchorman drop right there.
Especially being in San Diego.
Love
How to
that.
know the Anchorman reference.
Speaking of vibrations, by the way, we're vibrating right now live, streaming this actually on over at our Twitter handle at Follow the Stash. So you can ask Anna any questions that you want. We'll tweet them live and ask them on the show. And then the final piece is your love of man, a.k.a. philanthropy.
Oh, I was going to say.
See how I did that? See how I did that?
Where were you going with that?
See how I did that?
Wasn't ready for that. Maybe later in the segment. Philanthropy, yes, of course. Those go hand in hand with what I'm doing. I love helping the local community, especially when it comes to children. So Casa de Amparo and Boys and Girls Club of San Diego, Girl Scouts. I do a lot of events for them.
Excellent.
And I enjoy it.
Excellent.
Good causes. But I also have my own philanthropic thing starting, so I'll talk about that later.
Speaking of talking later, Anna, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with us in the show today. Singer, songwriter, philanthropist, events extraordinaire, and we're only just getting started with Anna Danes. So, gang, coming up, we're gonna figure out, maybe go back in the ever so distant time capsule and figure out how Anna got here in the first place. And I know there's a good story that you're not gonna want to miss on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.